The first major snowstorm of the season has hit the viewing area. More on the weather you can expect in the future. Plus, Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz talks economic development on Monday with the mayor, and host Bill Potter brings us another episode of Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. Well, we've lucked out for the most part this winter with little to no snow, but that luck ran out today. The snowstorm that hit arrived at around 9:30 last night and stuck around through the day today. When all is said and done tonight, we'll have about 4 to 8 inches of snow on the ground. Though the snow is now winding down, it created issues for road crews all throughout the day. Jasper Street Commissioner Ramey Eckerly says crews had plenty of salt on hand today to clear the roads. However, he says the real challenge will come over the next few days with evening freezing.
The snow that is on the ground, it'll melt and run out in some areas. We'll have some black ice here and there, so we have to watch that. Also, there's another chance of a storm coming in here Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, so we could get another dusting from that one. So we're preparing for that one. And then also, right now, a long-term forecast showing some possibilities of some snow in the rain event this Sunday, but that's a long way off. But we're kind of watching that way out there on the radar.
Speaking of the next few days, temperatures are expected to fall into the single digits overnight tonight. We'll get even colder the rest of the week as lows will drop below zero the next 3 nights. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite with SouthernIndianaWeather.com says the roller coaster in temperatures that has defined this winter season will continue for the foreseeable future.
It's going to be pretty much an up and down pattern. You know, we've been fortunate enough that we really haven't had it sustained long term. We cool down for 2 or 3 days and then warm back up decent. But pretty much all the work week is going to be very cold this week. I don't see us getting out of the 30s until at least Saturday. So bundle up this week for sure.
We'll have your local forecast coming up here in a few minutes. In other news, as the state legislative session rolls on, legislators are spending more and more time on reforming the state's utility policy. District 48 Senator Mark Messmer is among those leading the charge. Messmer says many of the changes are aimed at improving the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission. Messmer says Senate Bills 412 and 503 are aimed at making those improvements. Now, Senate Bill 412 would require all public utilities in the state to submit an integrated resource plan to the IURC. The bill also would require certain electric utilities to turn in energy efficiency plans to the IURC at least once every 3 years. Messmer says the state will continue to work on energy efficiency.
In 2009, the IURC began implementing the Energizing Indiana program, which established energy efficiency goals for Indiana utilities. Under the old program, ratepayers were required to pay a fee for energy efficiency upgrades. Although the program led to savings that outweighed the fee early on, the cost was expected to surpass the savings in the future. Energy efficiency programs are critical for Indiana's energy future without being a costly burden for ratepayers. Senate Bill 412 would work to strike an appropriate balance.
Speaking of energy efficiency, Senate Bill 503 also is addressing that issue. This bill is authored by Messmer and would require the IURC to adopt emergency rules that mandate municipally owned utilities to offer net metering programs for customers. Any rules would also have to include provisions that would allow rural electric membership cooperatives, or REMCs, to offer net metering programs as well. Now, a net metering program would allow customers that generate their own electricity through renewable energy equipment such as solar panels to put additional electricity that they produce back into the country power grid. Customers would then receive credits from their utility company based on how much electricity they provide. Messmer says the idea would save more than just electricity.
If the customer uses more electricity from the utility company than they put back into the grid, they would pay for the net usage. This would allow Hoosiers participating in the program to save money on their utility bills while also helping Indiana become a more energy efficient state.
Questions may be directed to Messmer's office at 800-382-9467. And finally tonight, yesterday marked a special day for a priest that has many local ties. Father Angelo Quadrini, FDP, celebrated his Golden Jubilee yesterday. This is the 50th year of Father Angelo being ordained as a Catholic priest. He has been with the Sons of Divine Providence for all of those years after being originally ordained in Boston on February 10th of 1965. In addition to leading masses throughout the weekend at St. Joseph's Catholic Church, a special reception was held in his honor yesterday at the former Providence home, now Cathedral Healthcare Center. Quadrini served as the center's administrator for more than 20 years prior to being sent to Boston on January 6th of this year. Father Angelo says though Jasper is largely a German community, he was able to make plenty of friends during his time here.
The nationality doesn't mean much really. If you make friends of any nationality, then the roots are important but not so essential in life. You make friends and according to the feelings, the warmth you develop with the people you meet every day in your life.
Father Malcolm Dyer, who oversees the Sons of Divine Providence, accompanied Father Angelo on his visit to Jasper. He says, though Father Angelo worked in Jasper for many years, he'll eventually be right at home in Boston.
Wherever we are, wherever we have a community in our congregation, we live the same spirit of the gospel and there's the charism of our founder. So that always is familiar to us wherever we go in any part of the world, whatever culture, whatever language. We're always at home in our own religious community.
Now, a petition had been circulated to have Father Angelo return to Jasper on a permanent basis. Officials at Cathedral Healthcare Center say that seems unlikely to happen at this point. For now, though, current Cathedral Healthcare Center Administrator Bo Kellums says getting the chance to honor Father Angelo for his service to Jasper was something that needed to happen.
He had to leave due to the order moving him to Boston January the 6th, but prior to that he was here 20 years, 5 days. It just means everything. I've been with the facility since October 27th, a week before the acquisition by Ide Management, and I really became very close with Father. I often spend a lot of evenings and nights here as far as working on projects or as far as visiting with residents, and I would see Father as far as down in the sacristy, the chapel area, and just the stories and the history he has. I just feel it needs to be preserved. He's very, very loved here in the community.
Yesterday was proclaimed as Father Angelo Quadrini Day in Jasper. The proclamation was presented by Mayor Terry Seitz just before the reception got underway. All right, coming up after the break, Terry Seitz is in next for Monday with the Mayor, plus your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.